Hi.
Yeah, hi Basu. So are we good to start?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, just give me 1 minute. So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, hi Basu. Let me introduce myself. This is Sanjay. I have total 5 years of experience working in Oracle, SOA, OSB, and Core Java.
Okay.
And in this one, I have worked on a lot of integration work, which includes integration from file to database, database to FTP, FTP to FTP, and then different web services I have consumed during my experience. And apart from that, I've worked both in OSB also and SOA also. So, do you familiar with SOA or OSB or any of this terminology previously? Have you ever worked?
Yeah, actually, I have the total 8 years of experience in IT experience. I started my career with a Pega developer,
Okay.
and then I migrated to Oracle SVA, BPL, and BPM, Oracle BPM, and
Okay.
then I worked on the JBus SVA and JBus BPM as well.
Okay.
And now the projects are came for the OSB. I have the little bit knowledge on OSB, but not much.
Okay.
The architectural level, how to set up the proxy business services and JC adapter buildings and the file integrations. I'm aware about all the functionalities,
Okay.
but I am expecting little bit depth on this OSB, like
Okay.
the transaction management and X queries and X functions.
Okay.
Okay. These are all, I'm aware about all the functionalities and all. Okay. But the thing is, I'm not expertise on that.
So,
I'm expecting that
okay.
expectation level.
So theoretically, you have theoretical knowledge on OSB, but you are looking more over practical knowledge on that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, your probably your expectation will be fulfilled. This course is around like 90% it based on practical, all practical hands-on experience. So only
Hmm.
this is like today's part, like what I'm going to explain in demo, that will be go in PPTs.
Hmm.
After that, if you will continue, whatever we will done, that will be done on the tool itself. Like first I will
Hmm.
explain you what is the different components, then we'll start from very by very basic levels, how to start from basic activities, like what are the activities OSB have. Then we'll
Hmm.
do small parts of that one, like assign the place, and once we are comfortable in that one, then we will merge them, like all the activities in one service, and post that we'll do some use cases and some POCs to merge them and do some integration from one part to other part, like from
Hmm.
source to target.
Okay.
So this will be the agenda of this complete course. So before going further, want to know which version you are looking for. Are you looking for 11G or you are looking for 12G?
11G.
11G. Okay, so yeah.
Right now, I had the 11.117 Eclipse version and OSP plugins and all I already have.
I
But
think Eclipse you will have 11.1.8 and then OSB it will be 7.
yeah, OSB 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah, because of Eclipse will not support for plugins of the 117, so I installed the 116, and then I'm facing the issue to connect the remote server. The remote server will have the some uh, like uh, SSL authentication. So I could not able to connect the remote servers from my IDE, and also I'm facing the issue to import the code, because of the code has the some authentication and authorization policies, the OWMS policies.
Okay.
So I could not able to import it because of I could not able to connect with the server. So there is no authentication and authorization policies in that. So once if I able to connect with the remote connection or in my local, then only I can able to import that, because of OWMS policies are available in that. That's why.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
that is all
like the
the.
first thing, when Eclipse doesn't support 11.1.7, that is not true.
Mhm.
Because you can access 11.1.7 through Eclipse 11.1.8. So if you will
Okay.
have, can you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
See, this is the version OEP 11.1.8. If you will have
Mhm.
this one, then it will support 11.1.7.
Okay. Yeah, I already have all this set up. No problem. Okay. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I think so, because of I'm not expert on OSP level. I just gone through with the some of
Yeah,
the
that's not the issue. Probably after this
yeah,
course, you will have that confidence to
yeah.
go further. You will have some practical knowledge on OSP.
Mhm.
Like even though we cannot give 100% practical knowledge over here because real-time scenarios are completely different.
Yeah,
But
I know.
yeah, we will try to cover like whatever we can do, and based on that, if you have some use cases, we can try to cover that also.
Yeah, yeah. I will tell you in my current projects some of the FTP integrations and SFTP integrations and web service integration, and also like yeah, X queries, and then actually it is a secured layer, like always it is connecting with the DB via the ODSI. Oracle Data Service Integrator is the one of the tool, ODI. It's like a
Yes.
ODI
Okay.
to connect with the backend system like DB or yeah, DB. Again,
Okay.
that is all the again the web services. The ODSI will provide the one web service is there, so that we can invoke the anywhere in our OSB databases, OSB
Service.
integrations. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so from this point of view, I can give you like I can show you how to use web services and how to use your queries also. But since I'm working on local servers, so I have limitations of giving you POC on FTP and SFTP because if you have any way to set up FTP, SFTP on like on our laptops, then I can show you the
Mhm.
POC. I tried previously, but SFTP or FTP servers I am not able to configure on my system. But
Mhm.
I will give you a way like how to use them, but uh, exact complete POC like running POC I cannot show you because of that limitation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
fine.
you, yeah,
I know.
like that.
I
Before
got it.
going further, because I want to just tell you, I can tell you how to use them, and even though I will give you a proxy also, complete setup also. But to
Mhm.
deploy and test, that will be a bit difficult because the servers cannot be set up on my laptop. I tried previously
Yeah.
that FileZilla is there, right? So I tried to set up that one, but that also didn't work on my laptop.
Okay.
So that's the
Yeah, I got
limitation
it.
currently which I have.
Mhm.
But I can give you a complete funda how to use them.
Okay, sure. Do you know the customized X queries, and how the way we can use the customized X
Yeah,
queries, which is
yeah.
invoking the Java code, and yeah, some of the user defines what can I say? Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Mm.
XQuery can invoke XQuery functions. Like I didn't heard XQuery can invoke Java functions. I need to look for that.
Mhm.
Like Java methods from XQuery, I didn't heard, but if it's possible, we can do. There is a way, like if you will have a Java, say suppose if you have a Java class, so what we need to do is to use that one in OSB, like say suppose you have 2 or 3 methods like get name and set name. So first you need to create a jar and deploy that on server. Based on that, you need to create some XQuery functions, custom functions. And that through that custom functions, you can hit that Java and then you can invoke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is possible. We can do that thing. And what else you are asking for? What we can call?
Just a minute. I will come back later. You can go ahead one way. Okay. If anything is required, then I will ask.
Sure. So yeah, let me proceed further. So currently, like I'm going to give you the fundamentals of OSB, like how it differs from SOA, what are the different activities we can use, what are the different project artifacts. So let us go through. So like as you already said, like you are aware about the OSB, so you already know like Oracle Service Bus. Can you tell me layman language what is the meaning of Oracle Service Bus?
Yeah, actually it is a lightweight component compared with the SOA. We cannot able to dehydrate everything in our server level. Whenever you want, you can log it and then display it. Whenever you want to go ahead with the light, means the means the transactions should not be managed in anywhere. You can go ahead with the OSB, and also it is a secured one. It has the proxy layer and business layer. The proxy layer basically to connect with the end users, the end systems. The business layer is basically the reference bindings and all to integrate with the DBs or third-party vendors. You can invoke it, like where you can implement some exports and the message flow. You can able to implement it in through the proxy. The whole business you can implement in the proxy server itself, proxy service itself.
Yeah, right. The technical way that is correct. So basically, like Oracle Service Bus, the main purpose of Service Bus, like in a layman language, if I will tell you what this is, it takes a passenger from one location and it delivers it to another location through some route. Okay, the same thing OSB does. Like what it takes your message from source and then it delivers your message to target. So the main agenda of OSB is to route your data. You can use transformation using XQuery in OSB. You can do transformation, you can do routing, you can do enrichment. Apart from that, whatever you want to do, you should use SOA. So as you said, like OSB is lightweight. The reason it doesn't dehydrate anything, it doesn't create any instances. So the only thing OSB where it uses database is for reporting. That is the only thing where OSB works with database. Apart from that, it doesn't maintain any state of your service. So say suppose if you have a heavy business logic which implements like calling of multiple services, based on that you want to do some, you want to perform some business logic, you should go for SOA. So the difference between OSB and SOA, mainly difference is like OSB is lightweight, SOA is heavyweight. The reason is SOA dehydrates everything at different points and it can create instances. And OSB doesn't have that feature, that's why it is lightweight. But apart from that, OSB have major advantages over SOA. For example, in OSB you will have a result cache. For example, say suppose you want to fetch some employee data from database. So do you think so employee data changes like frequently once it is inserted into database?
No.
No, right? Hello?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, in that cases, what you can do instead of hitting again and again to database, there is a feature called result cache. You can use that feature and based on some primary key. So you must have a primary key on your table. Based on that, you can fetch your data. For the first time, for that particular primary key, OSB business service will hit database and fetch the data, save it into cache based on that primary key. So the second time when you are going to hit it, it will not hit database, it will take your data from cache, similar like in web browser. Okay. Second advantage, it has it has service pooling. Say for example, you have like 2 or 3 web services deployed on different server doing the same functionality. Okay, and in case for more reliable purpose, you want to go, if say suppose one service is down, you don't want to stop your flow and you want to invoke the second service. If that is down, you want to go for third service. So in the business service, you can configure all the 3 web services, and if if first service goes down, it will go to second. If that goes down, it will go to third. So there are different algorithms you can choose, and based on that, it will work. Third thing is throttling. As you know, like every system has its own limitations, right? So what happens is, suppose your source is a supercomputer and your target is a legacy system, and that legacy system cannot handle more than 10 requests per minute, but your source system can send 100 requests per minute. So how this communication will work? So in that case, you can use throttling in OSB. What throttling will do? It will allow you to send only those many requests what your target or source can perform. So say it is a 10 requests per minute, so you can use throttling in OSB, and based on that you can define there like 10 requests per minute should go to that particular system. Beyond that, how many requests are coming, you can use a queue, throttling queue, where you can push your whatever the pending messages. Once that 10 messages will be done, you can start processing your other messages. This feature we don't have.
Is it throttling or throughput?
No, that says throttling.
Okay, what is the throughput?
Throughput is like how your server is performing, like how many requests it can accept per minute. Okay, so that is like CPU performance time moreover, and from OSB perspective, like how many requests you are sending to that particular system, that service, how many requests that service can handle per minute. Okay, is that clear?
Can we manage the limitation on that? How many coming? Can we limit it?
That throughput? One, like throughput is moreover from this one, your CPU side. That is not moreover on your OSB server side. The server side you can maintain, but not from the OSB perspective. Okay. That is like limitation of the machine on which that server is deployed.
Oh. Then what is the difference between OSB and mediator? The mediator is also the same, right? So
yeah, like after this I will tell you. So currently, like we are focusing on what are the differences between OSB and SOA. So these are the 3 main advantages, and apart from that, as you already work on SOA, like SOA is more over on design time. Say for example, you want to connect to 5 queues in SOA, then how many adapters you need to create?
Okay. 5 adapters.
5 adapters, right? That thing, but in OSB, say suppose you want to connect to 5 queues, that thing you can achieve using one business service itself. You need not to create 5 business services to connect to each queue. But that thing is not possible in SOA. So similarly, like OSB have a lot of things which you can do at runtime. SOA, you need to define everything at design time. That's why OSB is dynamic. So at runtime, based on the content, you can do content-based routing also. So how we will achieve those features, we'll see in the session what we will do further. I will explain you them. Okay. Yeah, now you asked what is the difference between OSB and mediator. So I think mediator you already used in BPEL, right? And SOA, right?
Yeah.
So the majorly BPEL is used to mediate your data intercomposites. Say suppose in one composite you have like two BPELs, some human workflow, and you want to route your data from one BPEL to other BPEL likewise. Then only you will use mediator over there. But for example, you have two different composites and you want to route your data from one composite to other composite, you cannot use mediator over there. Okay. So on those cases, OSB is used. OSB is used to route your data within different composites, and mediator is used to route your data inside the composite.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you okay with the installation of OSB you have done, or you want me to show, how to install the OSB?
Yeah, I already installed that.
Okay.
Just
Then
creating
probably
the domain. Yeah.
domain also you have created.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then we will skip this part, like installation of OSB, and we'll start directly from other features. So as I already explained you what is throttling, what is service cache, what is service polling. So from the concept perspective, are you good on that? Like, have you understood what I explained you?
Yeah.
Apart from that, like, what are the different OSB artifacts? So, like, we have different artifacts like service account. The purpose of service account is to say, suppose you want to invoke a secure service, like there is any web service and that is secured by with some username and password, you want to call that. So for that service, you need to use service account. Through that, you can pass your username and passwords. Okay. Second thing, alert destination. Like OSB give you functionality where you can just using one alert activity, you can directly send your email to the required audience. Okay. So to send that email, you need to create an alert destination. You can have two type of alert destination. One is like email based, one is JMS based. So say suppose anything wrong happens in your service, so you want to send an alert to your team. So there can be a developer team, there can be a support team. So you can configure different alert destination, like one for developer, one for one for your support guys, and you can choose there whether you want to send an email or you want to send a JMS. So based on that, but that will not work on your local systems. You must have a SMTP server on your system configured, and based on that, you can send your emails. Okay. So there is, apart from that, to send any alert email, you need not require any other configuration. Just one alert activity and alert destination is enough to send your emails to the required audience. Third thing is MFL. MFL stands for Message Format Language. So, for example, in your OSB, say suppose you want to pick a data from some file, and that file is some, say suppose, comma separated or any delimiter separated, and you want to write this data into database. So what MFL will, and OSB only understand language of XML. So what MFL gives you a functionality to transform your data from non-XML to XML or XML to non-XML. So if you are picking a file which is delimiter separated, you can use MFL either as an activity, or you can use directly with the proxy service from wherever you are pulling your data. That will directly convert your existing delimiter separated file to XML, and used that XML you can manipulate in OSB. Okay. Yeah, what are the different services provided by OSB? So OSB gives three types of services. One is proxy service, other is business service, third is split chain. So what proxy service does? It is basically used to expose your service to external world. So say for example you want to give your service to client. So you will always expose proxy service to your client. Okay. Business service is basically used to connect to your endpoint systems. That can be your source, that can be target. For example, it can be a database, it can be any web service. Whatever your third-party services are there, you can invoke through business service. Okay. Can I ask you one question? Like, why always we expose proxy services to client, not business service?
Yeah, basically this is a secured layer. We can abstract the original visual, and then we can send the somewhat this means abstract visual to the business, so that we cannot the business cannot if the business is very intelligent or some way of corrupting our original business by sending some of the wrong inputs, so that we can secure our application via the business proxy layer.
Okay. But if you are giving your visual to client, you cannot give abstract visual to them, right?
Yeah, we can abstract it, right? The what is the original IP and original
Yeah. Okay, we can extract it, but that will be a concrete visual. Abstract visual will always be used at design time, and the visual which you
I mean to say not abstract, actually.
Okay, extract. Okay. Yeah, I understood. So that will be a concrete visual which you will extract based on your deployment, like what we usually do through EM console, right?
Yes, sir.
So as you said, the main reason is that it has a secured layer. So you can secure your proxy service. That is the reason what you explained currently. That's correct. So proxy have a secured layer through which our client can come inside, so that it will not be it will not be used by some other third party who can harm our services. Business service can directly hit to your target system. So that is the reason we give proxy service to users. And one more advantage is you can write only your business flow inside the proxy service, not in business service. So say based on the data you want to perform some transformation, you can use X queries and you can transform your data to other system. So that's the reason we give proxy service URLs to external systems. Third thing is split join. So basically, split join only works based on visuals. Apart from the visual, you cannot use for any other thing. For any other protocol, you cannot use split joins. Its major advantage is it gives you a parallel functionality. Like say, suppose you have 10 messages, and for example, say suppose you have a loan-based service. Okay, you want to take a loan, customer loan. And for the customer loan, you will require an address verification service also. Okay, you will require a background checkup also. Okay, and third service, you may require its account balance checkup, whether its account exists or not. So say you have a 3 service, and all third are not related to each other. You want to run them parallelly. So you can go to split join. There you can use a parallel branch, or you can use a for loop, which is not sequential, that is parallel. You can invoke all the 3 branches in parallel. So say suppose each service needs like 2 seconds of time to get the response back. So when you are running parallelly, all 3 will be completed within 2 seconds. But if you will run sequentially, these 3 will require 6 seconds, right? So that is the advantage which split join provide. If you have a predefined branches you want to invoke, then you can use a split join to run them parallelly.
Okay.
Okay. So now, what are the different type of proxy services we can create? The proxy service provides a lot of different ways to create, that can be based on different protocols. For example, it can be any SOAP based. It can be based on HTTP, it can be local, it can be based on your DB adapters, it can be based on file, FTP, anything. There are a number of protocols based on which you can create your proxy services. The similar thing is applicable for business services also. Like you can create business service based on any WSDL, you can create based on JCA, you can create based on HTTP, any XML SOAP service, any XML service.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you all like OSB will give you these many features in the message flow. Like every proxy service will have a start node. You can define your message flow in two ways. Either you can go for a pipeline pair, or you can go for a route node, or you can go for a combination of pipeline pair plus routing. So pipeline pair is basically consists of two types of pipelines. One is request pipeline, other is response pipeline. So whatever is the functionality you want to achieve for the request, you need to do in the request pipeline. Whatever you want to do with the response before sending it to client, you can do it with response pipeline. Okay. Stage is the minimum container which holds your activities. Okay. For example, you want to drag any activity, you must have a stage that can hold your activity. So that is a container of your activities inside OSB. Okay. As we have error handling in SOA, the same way we can achieve error handling in OSB also. So there is a component named as error handler, using which you can handle your errors in OSB. If any exception occurs, you can send alert to that particular alert destination, as I explained in the previous session. Okay. Then branch node. Branch node basically can be performed based on data. This is known as content-based routing. For example, like you want to route to queue, and you want to achieve that thing based on the data which is coming in request. So say suppose in the request name is coming as Sanjay. So whenever the Sanjay name comes, you want to execute one particular branch, and you want to execute that data to Q1. And when the name Vasu is coming, you want to execute the other branch. So using one service only, you can put multiple branches based on the content that particular branch. Only one branch at a time can execute. Okay. Yeah, operational branching. Operational branching is only used with WSDLs. Like we can have multiple operations in one WSDL, right? So say suppose you have a WSDL for calculator. So in the calculator we can have 4 operations that can be add, multiply, division or subtraction. So you can use operational branch, and based on each operation you can put one branch over there and you can perform your action. It's like a pick activity, you know pick activity in people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the operational branching is similar to pick activity in OSB. Okay. Conditional branching, like conditional branching in the sense, as the name suggests, based on the some condition, your branch will execute. So inside the branch node, you can use conditional branching. Based on the data, your data can be routed. So all the 3 things which I explained to you, this is known as content-based routing. So based on the input data, you are routing your data from one node to other node. So this is completely based on content. That's why it is known as content-based routing.
Okay.
Yeah. Then last thing, route node. This must be your last node of your proxy service. Using route node, you can send your data to the particular. You can call any business service. You can call proxy service also. If you require any response, the response will come. Otherwise, like route can behave as a one-way also. It can use for synchronous also. Okay. These are the different protocols, like majorly used protocols supported by OSB. Apart from that, there are some other protocols also which OSB supports. So you can use OSB for HTTP. JMS, you already know, this is for Java messaging service. Whenever you want to handle using queue and topics, you can go for JMS. FTP, like FTP, both ways you can use. There are two ways to use FTP in OSB. The one way is, for example, you want to connect to, like you want to consume or you want to pull some file. Okay, so there are two ways. Either you can use direct FTP adapters, okay, which we can develop in JDeveloper and then we can take it here. Second thing, we have a FTP protocol inbuilt in OSB. So you can use that protocol also to pick your file or to pull your file from one directory. So there are two ways. Either you can use inbuilt OSB protocol or you can use an adapter, FTP adapter. Okay. JCA, like say suppose you want to interact to database, you know OSB, there is not any direct protocol to interact with. What you need to do, first you need to create a DB adapter in JDeveloper. You need to pick that file in Eclipse, and based on the WSDL you need to generate a business. Based on the JCA file, you need to generate a business service over there. Okay. Similarly, SFTP is used for secure file transfer. We can use file also. We can use email. Local. Yeah, there is a new protocol. This is known as local. Do you know what is local protocol used for? Like what is a local?
One proxy server invoking the locally another proxy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, one proxy is invoking the another proxy.
Yeah, that's true. So what happens, like inside the proxy service, you will have like you can put your logic in multiple proxies, and you want to call that proxy services from the gateway proxy. So what you can do, the service, the proxy service which you are exposing to client, that should be based on some protocol which we have explained on the which are described as here. It can be HTTP or any other protocol. But when you want to go through from one proxy to other proxy, internal proxies you can keep local. The reason is that will require less transformation. It will be since this is intercommunication, so that will keep less secure, and directly you can move your data from one proxy to other proxy. That cannot be exposed to any client. Yeah. Local protocols.
And in the JC adapter, what is the top link?
Top link is basically, say suppose you are connecting to some database, right? So since it is an external database, it will create a DB link for that one, database link. Okay, so based on that you can connect to the database. That is that the same value is used for top link. Okay. So like there are different activities and actions which can be used in OSB. Activities like there can be an assign activity, replace activity, insert. There will be a log activity, alert. And then we have similarly routing option, transport headers. So like number of activities in OSB is hardly like 14 to 20. Based on that, you can achieve all your logic which we want to perform. So once we will start our practical session, there itself I will explain the activity one by one, and based on that, we will work on that. Okay. Error handling, I explained you. Context variables. So do you know what are the context variables in OSB?
Not idea. Not an idea.
OSB gives inbuilt context variables. For example, OSB will give you 5 types of variable. One is body. Okay. Body is used for body will handle all your request and response. So whatever your request will come from body, if you are using the $body variable in request pipeline, that will be treated as your request body. The same variable, inbuilt variable, you can use in response pipeline. There, whatever the data you are saving inside or you are assigning to body, that will be considered as your response data. Okay. Second thing comes, apart from body, we will have fault variable. That fault variable can only be used with the error handler only. Okay, so whenever you are putting an error handler, there will be an inbuilt variable fault. So say suppose any exception occurs, your exception will be populated inside fault variable, and using the fault variable, it has a predefined structure. You can identify at which stage, which pipeline the exception occurs, what is the error code, and what particular like error description that describes. So using fault variable, you can you can extract that data and send through email, or you can insert into database for further processing. Third thing is like if for inbound request and outbound request. So whichever type of your request is coming in inbound, say suppose your protocol is HTTP. So in the HTTP, we can have multiple headers, we can have query string, and there will be different headers you can use. So using inbound, you can use them. Okay, then we have a outbound variable. Using outbound, say suppose for the HTTP request, you want to pass some headers to back to the user. Okay, so that headers or whatever the request related data which you want to perform on outbound request OSB, you can use outbound context variable. Do you understand what is the difference between inbound and outbound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So fifth type of variable is attachment. If you want to use anything performed through attachment, you can use that context variable. So these are the like predefined variables which OSB gives, and wherever it is required, you can use for your data manipulation.
Yeah.
Then the transformation. This transformation is achieved in OSB using xquery. You can use XSLT also, but OSB have major advantage of using xquery. Like it has a robust engine to perform xquery, and you can use them over here. So, like as we use XSLT in SOA, similarly you can use xquery in OSB. Here also you will have a graphical view where you can perform, like you can map your data from source to target based on different conditions. So it is used to map your data from one schema to other schema.
Okay. Do you know the basic operations like flavor?
Yeah. Yes. That is like similarly what you perform in XSLT, like you can use for each loop, let, if else conditions. The same thing you can perform in xquery also.
Okay.
It's moreover like XSLT also, but this xquery is more easy. That particular this works on completely XPath. So as you already are aware about XSLT, there will be not much difficulty using xquery. As you already have experience in SOA, OSB will not be that tough to use.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there are different WebLogic server artifacts. These are the same set server artifacts which are being used for SOA also. So, for example, like if you want to connect to any JMS, I think you already know you should have a JMS server, JMS module. Inside JMS module, we should have queue and topics, connection factories. So the same thing we need to create for OSB also, and using that you can you can use the same thing in your OSB also. The way is different.
Sanjay, one thing here, there is a two JCA adapters which headers are the different. Okay. Both the JCA adapters we are invoking, and then I want to match both the data inside our message flow.
Okay,
we can do because of the content and one is input from the JMS, one is from the JCA. Both the content is the different and the headers are the different and the file variables and all are the different. I want to match both of in the flow.
Okay, so first question, like you said, like JC adapters. So for which purpose you will use JC adapter for JMS?
DB purpose, not for the
Okay,
JC.
yeah, right. So because GMS, it has an inbuilt protocol that you need to use. Okay, so now you have some data in GMS. Okay, and you
Mm.
will have one JCA for DB, right? So you want to match the data which is coming through GMS and what data is coming from database. You want to match both the datas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that thing, like in which format the data. Say suppose through GMS you will have an XML is coming. So once that XML will come inside OSB, that will be inside any variable. And when you will pick through, like you will call your DB service also, that service also some response will come from DB, right? So
Okay.
both, say suppose you will have employee data, and in the JMS it is employee ID is coming 103, okay, and similarly you are invoking the DB service also, and you are fetching data from 103, and you want to match each data, right, whether this is matching or not, correct?
No, no, it's
This,
not like that. The
okay,
let me see. The employee data is coming from the JC adapter, like the DB.
okay,
Okay, and then the some of the information like department details are coming via the JMS.
okay.
I want to merge the both the employee and department details in a single route.
No, so where you want to merge them or you want to match them?
I want to merge them
So, like how department details you can match through employee details?
because of see these two are the some XML limitation is there, right? So employee data suppose contains the employee details like name and some of the information. The department details will have the some department information. Okay.
Right,
Next,
right.
while going to the these inputs to the another web service.
Service. Right.
Okay, I want to match both the details of the data and then want to give the input to the another service.
Yeah, we can do. Okay, you want to merge them and then you want to give employee plus department details to the service,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
we can do that thing. Like, see, uh, the web service which you are invoking, that will have an input schema of that time, that type, right? Employee plus department.
Mhm.
So using XQuery, what you can do, you can put two input variables to the XQuery. One is of employee data, one is of department data. Okay, and inside XQuery, you can do the mapping using both the variables to single output variable. We can achieve that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you need to create a transformation, XQuery transformation for that. Your XQuery
Mhm.
transformation will have two input variables and one output variable.
Mhm.
So the two
That is the
input
only
variable,
way. That is the only way to create the XML transformation, or can we use the base 64 code to convert both the contents in a single
no,
format?
base 64 you will go when your web service needs that. Like if it only understand the encoding of base 64, first you need to transform, then you need to convert it. Before transformation you cannot go. Because otherwise
Mhm.
how your service will understand that what data you are passing. So first you
Mhm.
need to transform it, and if only the encoding, your web service encoding only understand base 64, then you need to convert it to base 64 and send it. If
Mhm.
encoding is not the issue, then you do the transformation, directly send it, that will work.
Okay.
Ideally, base 64 only you need to use when there is a demand from the web service, like I will understand your data only and only when it is in base 64 encoding.
Mhm.
Otherwise, why unnecessarily we will use base 64?
Okay.
And one more thing, like for OSB directly doesn't support base 64. You need to write a Java code to
Yeah.
convert it to base 64.
Yeah. We write the Java code and then invoking the Java code, Java callout functionality.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
using that one, like direct functionality for base 64 and encoding is not available with OSB.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to achieve that, you create a XQuery transformation. You use two input variables. One is your employee, second is department. Then inside xQuery, use a for each loop and map your data for each employee and department to your target service. And after that, you need base64. You do a Java callout, do base64, and call that particular web service.
Okay. Okay. There is another scenario like there are the JMS queue. Actually, the which will read the data from the JMS queue. Okay, and delivered it to the some another system like southbound, northbound, and southbound. Okay. So, the message delivery is failed. Okay, then I want to resend the same data. How can we do?
Immediately?
If suppose that I want to, I'm consuming the some data from a queue.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can use XA connection factory over there.
XA connection factory.
Yeah. See, what is the advantage of XA connection factory is, say suppose you are using non-XA connection factory. Okay. So as soon as your data is consumed from JMS, it doesn't bother whether it went to the target or not. It will delete that message from the queue. Okay. But if you will use XA connection factory, what will happen until that complete thread will not be executed successfully, that will reside in the queue itself. So say for example, there is a message in queue, okay, and yours.
Sanjay,
Go ahead.
Sanjay, could you repeat? Could you repeat because of there is a network latency? I could not able to hear you.
Okay, okay.
Just repeat it.
There
and non-XA.
There are two types of connection factories. One is XA connection factory, other is non-XA connection factory. So if you are using a non-XA connection factory, what will happen if a message inside a queue comes? So and once the service consumes, irrespective of whether the service is pushing that data properly to that particular endpoint or not, that message will be deleted from queue. Okay, that doesn't bother whether that message particularly sent to the end, like the complete thread executed successfully or not. In an XA connection factory, say suppose there is a message in a queue. Okay, once that message will be consumed by your proxy service, and until the complete thread is not completing successfully, that message will not be deleted. Now say suppose after consuming, while pushing your data to the target system, it fails there. So what will happen? That message will be rolled back to that queue. Okay, and there will be a retry time. So if whatever the time you will put, after that, that JMS will again try to push the same data to your proxy service, and then your proxy service will send to that particular target system. Okay, and there is one more way you can use. In this scenario, XA connection factory, what will happen if it is not handled properly? So what will happen? It will try again and again and again. Say suppose now there is a like you can say maintenance time of your target system, say for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, you will not match the same time in your queue, like delay time, like after how many time it should retry. So what will do, it will every second it will try to retry, it will increase your logs, and then your server itself will down due to the excess log generation. Yes. So there is one more way to achieve this one. What you can do, say suppose if any exception occurs while consuming the data from JMS, there you can define an error queue. Okay.
Yeah.
So that message you can like say suppose any exception occurs, so you can define that you can send that message back to error queue. Okay. And then you can define one more proxy service that should be scheduled. So whenever the message will come in your error queue, this proxy service will pick your message from the error queue and then put this message to the main queue. In that way, this will be automatically, you can pass your data to the target system. You can retry.
Okay. The second one is the best implementation, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Second one is the best one because you will have a control over it. Like when you want to send that data to the particular target. So using that, you can achieve it.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah. Now the deployment and monitoring. So the deployment, I think you maybe know one thing we can do through Eclipse.
Yeah.
Second thing, we can export a jar and do through SB console. Apart from this, you can use WebLogic scripts also to deploy your uh, particular OSB artifacts.
Okay.
Okay. For monitoring purpose, OSB gave SB console similar to EM through which you can monitor your different services. You can enable or disable them from there.
Mhm.
Okay, so it will give you like if you will have monitoring, it will give you service health, how the service health, and if you are using reporting or some other tool, it will show you for what are the reports executed. You can see through SB console. Okay. For security perspective, OSB uses the same OWSM what SOA uses. So using OWSM, you can use different policies. Like we have different policies for security. You can use SAML token. You can use service user policy, service cache policy, user policy. There are a lot of policies for security management, logging. You can use through OSB also. Okay.
Yeah.
In this demo, and like in this for the further sessions, I will give you one POC like how you can call SOA service from OSB also. Okay,
Mhm.
so for that we will create an artifact in SOA and then deploy on SOA server. So for this one, we will create two different servers. One is for SOA, one is for OSB. And how to call SOA service, which is deployed on another server, to the OSB service, which is deployed on another server.
Mhm.
Okay, and then whatever the sessions we will go through, I told you like today is the session which went on PPT. After that, everything will be done on Eclipse and WebLogic server only. Okay, so we'll do main on practical things. I will explain you one by one all the artifacts over there, how to use them, how to define them. And first we will do small things like based on one or two activities. Then we will merge multiple activities, and based on that we will do POCs on database, file, FTP. I will tell you how to use JMS, local, and similarly we will go for the different protocols which is used majorly. Okay,
Okay.
so this is done from my side for the demo purpose. As installation also you are already done, so we will not go for installation. If you are willing to go for further sessions, we'll
Yeah.
proceed. So far you have any questions?
Mm, Not much. It's a nice and good session. I hope you understand what I'm expecting exactly. I'm not like a normal basic learner. Okay. Even I know how to create the proxy services, business services, and invoking the message routings and all the different kind of the things like a pipeline and all routers and nodes and split joins. These are all I worked, but I'm expecting the somewhat customizations, more customizations and all. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my intention.
Yeah, that's correct, Vasu. But the thing is, this session is covered in this way. Initially, I need to go through. I will go through the things as I told you, different activities, and then we'll go for proxy services. Based on that, I will give you proxy service. Maybe you learn some new things in that one, and then you give me. Once that is done, you give me your use cases. We will try to cover those use cases and we'll go accordingly.
Okay, just I'm mind up your mindset because of I'm expecting the somewhat different
Yeah, that's
things as per my requirements, not is normal like learning classes or something. Okay.
okay. So you can do one more thing, like if you will have some particular use cases, like say I want to pick a file, then I want to insert into database, or I want to do this thing. Just make a note of it and let me know also, so that accordingly I can like plan this session based on that.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, fine, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm working for the architect level in my company, so that I'm in a position to tell my team like you need to do the best practices like this. You need to do the thing like this because of I have the knowledge on the different tools like JBoss and Pega and Mol ESB and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can understand. So yeah, that's maybe
Uh,
you will get those things in the OSB also over here. Just defining the use case, please consider one thing in mind. Like I'm working on local servers, so maybe beyond that, like I will not have because I
yeah,
don't have
that
real-time servers. Yeah. So for the database,
yeah,
I'm
I
using
know the
Oracle
limitation.
XC, and then local WebLogic server. You already know what are all the limitations. So based on that, whatever the use case you will provide, I will try to design and then give you a demo on the class in the class.
Yeah, somewhere we are gonna use the Postgres also as a skill of SQL.
Like I do, okay, you can use that whatever you want to use while working on the POCs at your local systems. So for me, like currently, I have Oracle XC and then
Mhm.
WebLogic server.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sure. So whatever will be your feedback, just to give it to Shiva. So if you are proceeding further, then he will discuss with me. Accordingly, we'll proceed.
Yeah, sure. It's a nice and a good session actually. I saw many people which are having the 5 years of experience in my life because of I have taken so many interviews and then I see good inputs from you.
Okay, thank you, Asu, for the candid feedback. Even though if you will give me like whatever will be the like area of improvements, you can give it to me.
No, no. Okay. It's not
It
like
will.
something.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, it will be welcome. I'm very much candid while taking the feedbacks, whether it's positive or it's an area of improvements. I'm good for taking both. But
Okay.
even though
You are
it's
from?
just a 1 hour session, so you cannot also give much on that, right?
Yeah. You are from?
I'm from Pune.
Pune. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and you are?
I'm in Chennai.
Okay, Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, fine.
yeah, let's see. So just probably Shiva will talk to you, and based on that, whatever the feedback he will give, so we'll proceed.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, sure.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah. Thanks. Bye bye.
okay,
Nice
thanks.
meeting.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.